don't have Eric with us tonight, and we don't have Alan at the moment, at least. He's playing in another competition. But we're going to discuss the eight hands that you play tonight. And there was a common theme. The theme tonight, as guessed by one of our players, was ducking, not winning a trick that you could have won and which it looks very likely that you should win. But there are reasons why you shouldn't. So let's just have a look and see if we can come up with some answers. I think that the very first board was probably the most difficult of the eight. So I don't know how many made board one. Do we have an answer for that, Sanya? Do we know how many made board one? If you did make board one, you've done very well. Board one is on your screen. Auction was 2 no trumps from north, 3 no trumps from south, unopposed, and the lead was won by a defender screw up. Okay, Jock, thank you. Okay, we can't guard against that. I mean, if you make it because the opposition get it wrong, then you make it. That's what it boils down to. Now let's have a look. What have we got in this 3 no trump contract? Well, unless we can persuade the opposition to take the ace of diamonds on the first round, then that diamond suit is dead. We have no other entry to dummy. That is the crux of the problem. So let's counter tricks that we can make. We can make 3 club tricks, possibly 4 if the suit breaks 3-3, but that's somewhat unlikely. 2 heart tricks, that's 5. 2 spade tricks is 7. And we can certainly make 1 diamond trick because they'll have to duck the first one anyway. Alright, but unless the clubs are 3-3, is there any chance of anything else? We can't cash enough winners to make a squeeze operative. We can't give away enough tricks to rectify the count or cash winners. We just haven't got that number of winners. So we're going to have to do something either with the clubs or with the diamonds. And this is probably a little known technique to most of you. But let's go through it and see what happens. It makes little difference whether West plays the king or not. He knows his partner's got Jack 10-9 or Jack 10-8, but he's going to play the king just to get out of the way. So the suit is not blocked in any way if Declare decides to duck the second one. All right. Now, Declare will start off with the diamond. You never know, might be the singleton ace. East is careful to show that he has an odd number, and we're playing low to indicate an odd number when we do these lessons. If your methods are different, that's fine, as long as you get the message over. You have an odd number of diamonds, and West says, well, if you've got 1, it doesn't matter whether I hold it or not. If you've got 3, then I just need to hold it up once. So he holds it up. Now, Declarer recognises that the suit is now dead. He's never ever going to get back to dummy again, so it's pointless him playing another diamond. So what's left? Well, clubs 3-3 is also a possibility, but that's against the odds. Is there any other chance? Well, yes, there is. If the clubs are not 3-3, it may be that the person who has got the 4 clubs, or possibly 4 hearts, can be end played with either a club or a heart in the end game when he's only got the ace and another diamond left. So that's the extra possibility that we have. And to bring that about, we're going to need to duck a heart. Can't afford to duck a spade, they just play a spade straight back at us and then we can't bring it out that end play. But now let's duck a heart at this point. We don't care who wins it. Well, let me turn my sound off because it's echoing a little bit. Bear with me just a second. Settings. Or forever forgetting to do that. And get back to the count and hands. Deal archive. Okay. No, we didn't. We didn't duck it, did we? We wanted to duck a heart. There we go. More concerned with the sound. I've muted my sound, but I'm still getting sound from somebody else. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Okay. Now that we've docked it, and they're going to continue space, of course. That we're going to win spade. Now we're going to cash our clubs. They might play 3-3. No, they don't. But it's West we know that has got 4. Now we'll cash our heart. We can afford to throw the spade from dummy. And now it doesn't matter whether we play a diamond, a club, or a heart. As long as we read East to have the 5-card spade suit, it was odds on for West to have the length in the other suits. We can exit in any one of those 3 suits. Let's say we play a club. He can cash his ace, his jack of hearts. And his ace of diamonds. But he's only got a diamond left. I suspect that that is a technique new to most of you. It means that you've got to think a long way ahead, and you've got to appreciate the necessity for ducking that heart once you've been allowed to make the diamond trick. If you take the first diamond, it's easy. You just catch 4 more diamonds when you get the lead. You've got loads and loads of tricks. But if they don't take it, and they won't, any competent defenders will let each other know how many they've got, and they'll duck it the right number of times. If they don't duck it, they duck it twice, you're home and dry. You have 9 tricks. So they have to get that count right. And if you don't play count in those situations with your regular partners, then you really ought to. Counting the distribution is a really big part of the game, especially in defence. Do we have any questions or comments on board 1? Oh my goodness, says Eunice. Easy when you see it, isn't it, Glennis? Yeah. It's difficult, Blue, I think, that one. I think that's probably the trickiest hand in tonight's set. Alan told me it was too hard. He may have been right, but I thought you would like it anyway. Any questions or comments? No? Shall we move on to board 2? Here comes board 2. Now, for those of you that don't play Crokish, this hand, the bidding on this hand presents a little bit of a problem. 2 clubs, pass, 2 diamonds. I know Dory made it, I watched her. Yeah, well done. 2 diamonds, but what would you bid now with the East hand? You've got an absolutely enormous hand. But if you're not playing Crokish for no trumps, well, what does that say, Jock? I mean, the auction I got was that when it happened at the table was that this hand bid 5 no trumps to say to partner, I'm so close to a slam, have you got anything? We'll stick with that. I'm not sure that that's right. If you play Crokish, it becomes a little easier because you can bid 2 hearts at this point to promise a hand of balance 25 or more, or a heart-based hand, and then partner will know already that you've got a minimum of 25, and you may be able to get there then. But anyway, 6 no trumps is where you get to by whatever route. And South makes the fairly routine lead. I'm not sure that it's not something that I've discussed with my partners. I don't think I've ever had a 30-can jock. But I do play cokish with quite a lot of my partners. So for us, that would start off 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, which is either 25 plus balanced or based on a heart suit. 2 spades is another relay. 2 no trumps now says I'm at least 25 balanced hand. 3 clubs would be Public Damon. 3 diamonds are at least 1 major. 3 no trumps. Now it's going to be played the wrong way up, but I think now this hand is probably going to be something like 5 no trumps again. I haven't discussed that high with my partners. I think Hokish is a good idea because it allows you at the 3 level to still find transfers in majors and public statement and things like that. Yeah, I agree, Terry. Yeah. There's all sorts of you need to discuss it with them. Anyway, 6 no trumps is where we're at, and we get the lead of the Queen of Hearts. Okay. Let's count our tricks. We've got 4 diamond tricks. No one can take those away. We leave the clubs for a moment. 4 diamond tricks. 2 heart tricks is 6. 2 spade tricks is 8. And we have 3 club tricks, even if we're able to take the queen with the king. That's only 11. We certainly can't make any more diamond tricks. It looks unlikely that we can make any more heart tricks. So we've got to make either an extra spade trick or an extra club trick. Now, what's the answer? Who's going to tell me? Nobody? You sent an answer to the table. Well, when you're 1 trick short, it's a squeeze, exactly, John. But squeezing what? What 2 suits? Well, only one of the opposition can hold 4 or more clubs. So that's going to be one of the suits. And what is the other suit? It's very unlikely that only one of them can guard the hearts, although it's possible. But if this guy's got 5 hearts who's led the hearts, the odds of him having 4 clubs or well are somewhat remote. But it's possible. And is there another suit that could fit the bill? Well, let's have a look at the spades. We've got 6 spades between us. And that means that only one of them can have 4 or more. If we give them a spade, we'll reach a situation where only one of them can guard the spade. And that will, as John just suggested, that will also rectify the count. It will bring about the position where only we can win all the tricks except 1, which is a prime requisite of the vast majority of these simple squeezes. So that's going to be our plan. We're going to win the heart. And we're going to duck a spade. Here's our theme again, ducking. Doesn't matter which opponent wins it. And imagine they'll probably continue with a heart, which we will win. Now you'll notice now that only North can guard the space. He's the Queen and 8 are going to fall on the Ace King combat me, and only North can guard the clubs. He has to keep 4 clubs, otherwise declare can cash the Ace, overtake the Queen with the King, and then make the Jack, and the 4 will be good. So North has got to hang on to those 7 cards. Unfortunately for him, he's got to find 4 discards when we cash these diamonds. Doesn't matter what South throws. And there is the coup de grace for North. If he throws a spade, then all declare a spade are good. The ace, the king, and the 5, which he'll throw, and then he'll, let's say he does throw a spade. Right, so now we're going to cash. And the king. And the 5. And now we've got 3 club tricks left. And of course, if he'd have thrown the club, then we'd have cashed on 2 spades, and the 4 club would have been right. We wouldn't have been able to cash the 3rd spade, but we'll make 4 clubs instead. And we're going to claim that. It's a simple automatic squeeze. Automatic simply means it would work regardless of who's got the 4 spades and the 4 clubs. It could be South, it could be North. Because the menaces, the 4th club in dummy and the 3rd spade left in our hand are in opposite hands, that would work against either opponent. Positional squeezes depend upon both menaces being in the same hand, and then it would only work if they sit over the victim. Here, an automatic squeeze, the menaces are in opposite hands, we can squeeze either opponent. Here, very likely North, because we expect South and then in hearts. Yeah, thank you, Terry. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? Yeah, that's very true, Jock. Yeah, if North just has the spades and not clubs, the squeeze will still operate against South if he's got 4 clubs and 5 hearts. You're absolutely right. But you need to have 5 hearts then. If you only have 4 hearts, your partner would have 3. South is squoze. Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other comments or questions on board 2, please? Okay, let's find board 3 for you. Dorian did it correctly, yes, I know. No opposition bidding. And we get the lead of the Jack of Clubs. Oh, no, I would say that, Dorian. I was most impressed, yeah. I think it's quite right to play from dummy here on trick 1. And the king appears on your right. Now, all we need to do now here is to think ahead. What's going to happen? Now, if we win this, and then we play a trump, if West has got the ace, 50-50, what's he going to do? King is clearly a singleton. He's going to continue with the 10 of clubs, and your queen of clubs is going to get roughed out. Whether you drop the next one or cover it, it's still going to get roughed out. And now you'll have 2 club losers. And so 2 clubs and a heart and the rough, that's 1 off. But remember what our theme is? Our theme is ducking. We were going to lose a club anyway. Don't mind, as long as we make 2 club tricks, we'll make 3 heart tricks, and 2 spades is 5, the ace of diamonds is 6, and 2 diamond roughs in dummy is 8. If we make 2 club tricks, we have our 10 tricks. If we take this ace, let's see what happens. We play a trump, an alert West, and I know that most of the lists I watched were alert. You jump up with the 10 of clubs, and now you're dead. Yeah, I will save this one for you in a second, Sandy. That's why I'm playing it first. Doesn't matter what this hand plays now. You play spade, for example, or your player will win. He needs to ruff 2 diamonds, so he'll play a diamond. And ruff a diamond. And back to the ace of spades. And ruff another diamond. And now we can play the king of hearts. And the spade ruff back to hand. But we've still got 2 club losers. So we're going to finish up down 1. That's if we cover, if we win the king of clubs with the ace. Let's put the hand back up to the table. And we'll bid south 4 hearts again. Here we go. And now we're going to make the same lead. Only this time we're not going to take our ace. Because what will happen if we play a trump and West leads a heart, another club now. So let's see what happens. What's he going to play back? A spade? Okay. We'll win the spade in dummy. And now we need to ruff the diamonds, don't forget. So we'll do that before we start getting locked out of. Another spade back to hand. And ruff the other diamond. And now we will play the trump. He takes his ace. Here's the difference. If East ruffs this, he's ruffing a loser. He's not ruffing our queen of clubs, which was a winner. But he will ruff it. But notice we've still got 2 clubs tricks left. Spade, ruffed. Now heart to dummy. East hasn't got any trumps left. We know West has got 2 clubs left. It's perfectly safe. Come back down with the club. Draw the last trump. And the queen of clubs is still in dummy. It looks so obvious to put the ace of clubs on that king of clubs, but if you do, that leads to defeat. Okay, do we have any questions or comments on board 3? Well, the table I watched jumped up with the ace, even though partner put the king on a small club. Those 2 mates were down to defender error. I know that one person did jump straight up with the ace and gave partner and picked up Devere's queen of clubs, and they took it down legitimately, I might say. Okay, if you don't jump up with the ace and Declare plays a second trump, and then East doesn't have another trump to ruff with. Instructive hand, yes, well, I hope they're all instructive, Charlotte, I hope. But, we put quite a lot of effort into these somehow, sometimes. Okay. Anything else? Any more questions or comments on board 3? Right, we will move on to board 4. There's something special about this hand, but we will come to it. This time it is a competitive auction, so we'll give you the auction. 1 spade, 4 diamonds from North. Yeah, he's got a lot of diamonds and a weak hand. 4 spades from East. And so I think, well, I got 4 partners bid and I got all this lot. This must be worth a double. Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? So double, we'll say. And that becomes the final contract. Okay. And the lead given was the 2 of hearts. Almost certainly a singleton. He's not likely to be leading from 3 to the jack or 3 to the king or whatever. He'd be leading something else, you would think. But what's our plan? What have we got? We've got 5 spades and 1 heart is 6. And the ace of clubs is 7. And the ace of diamonds is 8. And a diamond ruffin dummy. That would make 9. Where's our 10th trick? The hearts and the clubs don't look promising candidates. And again, I think this will be a technique that will be strange to most of you. Well, you've got 3 aces and 5 spade tricks is 8 and the diamond ruff is 9. Yeah. Where's the 10th trick coming from? Ace, ace. What do you mean, ace, ace? A diamond discarding a club. Well, how's that going to help you? You're still looking at 2 heart losers and 2 club losers. Right, okay. There's one suggestion. Can we end play south in something? Well, I think one player tried that and played a heart and south won and promptly led back the king of clubs. So yeah. North has just diamonds. Well, can we? Let's see what happens. We're going to draw the North or South plays the 9. That's a pretty good indication that that really was a singleton. So let's draw a couple of rounds of trumps. Alright, another one. Right, okay. Right. We're going to ruff a diamond, aren't we? So let's play a diamond. Oh, the queen. Surely a singleton, we would think. Does that give us any idea? Well, if we got the second diamond, what are we going to throw at it? Well, throw a heart, say. Alright. South throws a club. And now what? North exits with a club. And we've still got 2 heart losers and 2 club losers. Cash the ace of clubs first. Alright, let's go back. Okay. Before we play the second diamond. We've cashed 1 diamond, cancel. We've cashed 1 diamond, haven't we? And now we're going to cash the ace of clubs because we want to take away North's exit card. And now we play a diamond and we duck it. We throw a heart on it, say, and South throws a club. North has got to play a diamond, it's all he's got left. What do we do with that then? Heart and a club, exactly. Well done. And on the next diamond, we throw a heart from dummy and a club from hand. And now we can cross off the rest. So where does the ducking come in? Let's claim our tricks and put the card, put the hand back to the table. To the table. I'm just going to bid 4 spades this time by West. So there we go. Yeah, you've all heard of a rough and discard. This is a discard. It is difficult to see, but where's the duck that was part of the theme for the evening? Nobody going to tell me? Yes. Let's play it through again. So we get the lead of the 2 of hearts. And we draw a couple of trumps, as we did before. That's the trumps gone. And now we cash the diamond. Only this time, North hangs on to the 2 of diamonds. He can see what's coming. Ace of clubs, take his exit card away from him. And now the 4 of diamonds, which he ducks. Now what? If they've still got 2 heart losers and 2 club losers and nowhere for them to go. How many people will spot that? Dimitri did. Well done, Dimitri. Alan suggested that we put the 2 of diamonds in Declarer's hand so that North couldn't duck it. And I thought, well, yeah, the whole evening is about ducking, so this was a defensive duck. And if North realises he's going to be giving these discards twice in a row because he's only got diamonds, I have no idea. I have no idea what book it's from. If it's from a book, I've had these hands probably since the 1970s or 1980s. Yeah. So it may have been given to me, it may have been a hand at the table, I really don't know. Well, maybe. Must be a very old book, if it's come from a book. The theme is around Watson's. What do you mean, Watson's? Watson's play of the hand. That was Terence Rees, wasn't it? Oh. I don't know of it, I'm afraid, so that wouldn't be a book that I've got or come across as far as I know. But anyway, you're right, it's a great hand. Okay. Watson's. And the name doesn't mean anything. Is it a bridge player called Watson? Okay. Well, give me the full title, Terry. Let me know, and I will. I'll see if I can find it. Please, thank you. Okay, but now we're going to claim because now this is going to go 1 off. If North manages to find that duck. Watson's Classic Boat Play Bridge. Okay. Watson, I'm just going to write that down. Watson's Classic Book Play Bridge. Okay. I will have a look. That was interesting, good. The player, Lois Watson, the player of the Hamlet Comfort version. Yeah. It's not a name I recognise. This is American, is it? I think if he was British, I would recognise the name. Don't know. Okay, we will move on. Do we have any more questions or comments on board 4? Okay, let's find board 0 comment. Well, the auction was quite easy. It was 3 diamonds from north, 6 diamonds from south. So we'll just give 6 diamonds to north. There we go. This one will go down well with Sanya, won't it, Sanya? Because we get the lead of the King of Hearts. Okay. Now, there's a great deal said earlier about Morton's Fork. What is Morton's Fork? People were asking. Well, Morton was, in the old days, was the equivalent of the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He was the King's tax collector. And he put forward the following argument, that if you were rich and you lived a splendid life, then you could clearly afford to pay the taxes that the king was asking for, so pay them you had to. On the other hand, if you were poor and living very frugally, well, his argument was that you must have got that way by saving up an enormous amount of money. So you had the money, but you just didn't, you'd saved it. And in that case, you could afford to pay the king's taxes, couldn't you? And his name was Morton, and I think we're going back to Henry VII's days, something like that. His name was Morton, and he adopted that approach to get taxes from both the rich and the poor. Made no difference. His argument was that whichever you were, you could afford it with that argument. And the term has come to be used in the bridge world as a choice of plays for the opposition, neither of which will work. To be caught on Morton's Fork is that you haven't got a winning option. And let's see how that works in this particular case. If we were to win the Ace of Hearts here at trick 1, what are we going to throw on it? Well, we could throw a spade on it, but we're going to lose a spade anyway, and we'll still lose a spade. And that won't help us, and we'll still lose a club. Won't help us in the slightest. All right. Let's count our tricks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 diamond tricks, 1 spade trick that we can make by force, that's 8, 1 heart trick is 9, and 2 club tricks is 11. 1 short. Okay, well, I've got the title of the book anyway, Sanya, thank you. I'll do a bit of research and see if I can find it. Okay, so what we're going to do is to put, hopefully, West in an impossible situation. We're going to make him make a choice that whatever he does is going to be wrong. And we're going to do it like this. We're going to not take the Ace of Hearts because we don't know what to throw on it yet. We're going to rough it. Now we'll cross the dummy with a diamond. Play a second diamond just to avoid any of us. We can keep the lead in dummy. And now we're going to play a low spade. Now, if West jumps up with the ace, what will happen is that we will play low. But now we will have 2 discards from dummy. The king of spades, after cashing the queen of spades, The king of spades would allow us to throw one club away, and the ace of hearts will allow us to throw the other club away. So that way, we only lose the ace of spades that we've just lost. But on the other hand, if he doesn't take his ace of spades, our queen wins. But now we can throw our losing spade away on the ace of hearts. And provided the clubs are no worse than 3-2, 3-2 is what we would expect, we will just have one club loser. We will cross the hand, cross the dummy with the club. You don't need to guess, you need to know. It won't help you to play east for it and play through to the king, because that won't give you two discards, Dimitri. You have to hope that the ace of spades is with west. So it's not a guess as such. But now, when he ducks, well, yeah, but if I play from north, if he plays low, I win with the king, but now I haven't got a discard with the queen because that will still fall under the ace. If we put the ace of spades with this, let me just think about it. If he goes up with the ace, then we discard we have the queen of spades. We still have a discard, indeed. Yes, it comes to the same thing. You're absolutely right. Yes, you're right. You have to guess who's got the ace. You're quite right. But you see the Morton's fork element. We've discarded our spade. On the ace of hearts, and now what we're going to do is give up a club. Yes, it doesn't matter who's got the ace as long as you guess who's got the ace and lead through it. And North's hand is high now, so he's going to make 9 tricks. It's a classic example of the technique that we call Morton's fork. You give him a choice. You go up with your ace, I get 2 discards. If you don't go up with your ace, you don't make it. So whichever he chooses won't work. Yeah, you need to guess. You need to guess who's got the ace. You want to lead through the ace. Yes. Yes. If the ace is sitting over the king and you lead small from hand, then it won't work because the king will lose to the ace, and you've only got the one. You've still only got one queen. You haven't got a discard anymore. It comes in lots of different guises, Morton's fork, but the principle is there's 2 lines of defence, neither of them right. How to guess right? I wish I knew the answer to that one. I guess wrong at least 25% of the time. You ask my partner. Yeah. Guessing, there are occasions when you just have to guess. And sometimes you'll guess wrong. It's a fact of life. 50% of the time, it's a 50-50 shot. You'll guess wrong. Yeah, I do. Right. Do you have any more questions or comments on board 5? Oh, did she? That what she did. Okay. Caught you nothing, Jock. That takes a bit of doing. It is board 6. Now, this is simply a question of working out what can go wrong. A competitive auction, we had 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, I think, from north, yes. 3 clubs. Pass. 3 spades from Sal. Pass. Oh, hang on, we got all this wrong, haven't we? No, the whole thing's wrong. I forgot that East was the dealer. Let's wait for the yellow lines to disappear. We'll start again. Right, East is the dealer, so he passes to start with. Then we'll start again. 1 spade. 2 diamonds. 3 clubs. Pass. 3 spades. Pass. 4 clubs. Pass. 4 spades. End of auction. And we were told that the lead was the 3 top diamonds, not really mattering in what order. And we'll play 2 of them, and then we'll stop and think about the 3rd one. I noticed that 1 East did not play high-low to show an even number. Maybe his signals were low-high shows an even number. No, it doesn't make any difference where the King of Hearts is. Dimitri, doesn't make any difference. Let's have a look. What can go wrong if we if we rough in dummy, which seems to be the natural thing to do, then East will over rough, and in this particular instance, he will lead a heart, and you'll be locked in dummy. Now, he couldn't do that if he had the King of Hearts. This is true. Can I please mute the Zoom? I'm being asked. Okay. Mute all. There we go. Right. If he's had the King of Hearts, he couldn't exit with the King. But he could exit with the Jack of Clubs, say. That would lock you in dummy. You could come back to hand with the club, but would that help you? Well, if you led to Jack of Clubs, yes, it would give you an extra club trick. But you don't need to. If you just don't rough it, what can happen? If he roughs, doesn't make any difference now. You've got a club entry to dummy, and you've got a heart. Yeah, okay. Is he going to rough, or is he going to play a heart? Who is going to play a heart, Dimitri? West or East? East is going to rough and play a heart, yes? Rough his partner's trick. Right, let's see what happens. No? What do you mean then? He's not going to rough. Alright, so we'll undo that. Alright, so let's say he throws a heart instead. Alright, and declare a follows. And now we'll imagine that East has got the King of Hearts and that West switches to a heart. Declare a wins, and declare a draws trumps, and he'll throw his 2 heart losers away on clubs. He still has the communication to get back to his hand. The problem with him roughing in dummy was East will over rough, and if the King of Hearts is with West, heart will from East through your Queen will lock you in dummy, and you've got no way of getting back to hand and drawing the clubs afterwards. You try to catch 3 clubs while you're in dummy, and West will rough. Let's have a look at that. Let's see what happens. Let's go back. And we'll claim it both ways. I know Sandy likes us to do that. So first of all, let's rough it. And East over roughs. He might over rough with the big one. It doesn't make any difference. And now he continues with the Jack of Hearts. And if you don't cover it, you can win with the ace. But now you've got you can't get back to hand to draw the trumps unless you ruff a club. And if you ruff a club, you've got a heart loser. So you've got to hope that you can get the hearts away before anybody ruffs. Oh well, it's all right so far. You can see what's going to happen. And that's one down. I'm going to put the hand back to the table. And we'll just be 4 spades as south. And we get the same lead again. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? Undo. Undo. Pass from east to start with. That's better. Now 4 spades by south. Right, 3 diamonds. Only this time, we're not going to ruff it, we're going to discard a heart. And we don't care whether east ruffs it or not. If he discards a heart, and west, if he continues with another diamond, that will ruff in hand. But if he switches to a heart, we don't know where the king is, but we don't need to. We're going to draw the trumps. And our 2 heart losers will disappear on clubs. You must have read it. If the king, doesn't matter where the king of hearts is. If the king of hearts is east with east and you ruff the diamond and it gets over ruffed, you're quite right. He can't exit with a heart because you'll put your queen up and then you'll get home that way. But that's a 50% chance. So if you ruff it, if east hasn't got any, your contract is now 50%. If you don't ruff it, but what east does is immaterial. Your contract is now 100% if the spades have fallen. So you always needed the spades to be falling anyway. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? I don't remember reading a book by Lewis Watson. Doesn't mean anything to me. Okay. Right. But these things, I mean, people tell me things. People give me hands. Have you seen this? I used to get them all the time. Card perfectly. Well done to Pat. I think she was the only one to make the contract. The auction was a little bit convoluted. We're going to give it to you. 1 spade from south. 1 no trump from west rather. 1 no trump, typical 15-17 with a spade stop. Pass. 3 no trumps. I like all these really nice diamonds. Now south rather upsets the apple cart by bidding 4 hearts. And now west can't bid over that, or at least chooses not to. North puts declare south partner back to spades. You bid spades first partner. And east thinks, well, I think, if we can't make 3 no trumps, 5 diamonds has got to be a good shot. and we get the lead of the Queen of Spades. One thing is for sure, if we lose a club trick to North, North will switch to a heart and South will catch two heart tricks, and that will be one off. So that's not going to work. The King of Hearts is not going to be well placed. Yeah, I was really impressed. I was actually watching Pat's table, and she played the card perfectly. But if we can't lose a club trick to North, where are our tricks going to come from? Exactly, Dimitri. No, that's not Dimitri, that's Strider. What we're going to do, or what we're going to try to do, look at Dummy's diamonds. The King, Jack, and 8 are all winners. The diamonds we're missing are the 3, 5, 7. So if we duck the first spade, then we can throw clubs on the Ace, King of Spades, and then we can set the clubs up. We can Ace of Clubs, ruff a club, over to the 8 of Diamonds, ruff another club, over to the Jack of Diamonds, ruff another club, and then over to the King of Diamonds to cash the one remaining club. And that will be good, won't it? We'll get rid of our heart. So that is our plan, and that was Pat's plan because she carried it out perfectly. We ducked the first spade. North can't overtake that. And it matters not what South is. I think at Pat's table they switched to a club, and they said switch to a club at one table. But let's say they switched to a club. That will do. As good as anything. Okay. Now we have to hope that the spades stand up for 2 more rounds. There's no reason to expect the South will have 7 of them. And now we will ruff the club. And we will ruff it high, because we don't want it to be over up. We don't know whether South has got one or not. Seems unlikely, but we can afford it. Well, he hasn't any clubs, and we don't know whether he's got any diamonds or not. But now we find out he hasn't got any diamonds, but the 8 is an entry. Continue with our plan. We ruff another club, and again we can ruff it high. Another diamond to dummy. And one more diamond to dummy. That's drawing the last trump, and now we can cash that established Jack of Clubs and throw a heart away, and we will give them a heart. And there's our 11 tricks. So very well done to Pat. I think you have seen this hand before. I think it was included in a different set of lessons, but yeah, really well played. Yeah, you picked the right partner, John, don't you? Okay, do we have any questions or comments on board 7? Who's this? Lewis Watson was, Jock, is that what you're saying? I mean, Eli Cooper's, I've got his red book somewhere, but Lewis Watson doesn't ring any bells with me at all. My education's sadly neglected, obviously. Okay. Any more comments on board 7? Dummy reversal? No, not this one, no. But it's a kind of dummy reversal. But in fact, we're using, it's not really a dummy reversal because we're not using dummies trumps to draw trumps as such, having ruffed all these winners. I mean, we've got plenty of trumps. We're using them to set up the club tricks so that we finish up with the club winner. I wouldn't turn it to dummy reversal. Okay, we'll move on to the last board, board 8. And it doesn't matter what the sequence was. It was a Benjamin sequence that I gave you, but all we need to know is that North overcalls 4 clubs. So we'll just 1 spade, 4 clubs, 4 hearts. And that's totally irrelevant, really. 4 spades. There we go. And we get the lead of the ace of clubs. And when South follows with the king, clearly a singleton, continues with the queen of clubs. Now, let's have a look. How are we going to get to dummy to throw any losers away on these hearts? Well, we're not going to get there with the club ruff, that is for sure. And if we try to ruff, what's going to happen is we're going to get over ruffed, and South will probably return a spade, and now we're locked in our hand. We can touch the ace of hearts. We're going to go down. Let's see what happens if we ruff. Let's have a look. Over ruff. Right. Plays a trump. Obvious thing for him to play, really. And there's nowhere for declarer to go. If he draws the trumps, he can never get to dummy. Let's say he draws the trumps. There we go. Okay, so South has got no trumps left now. If he plays a club, North will just continue playing clubs. If he plays the ace of hearts and then a club or a diamond, the opposition are going to take, they've already taken 2 tricks, they're going to take 2 diamonds as well. So if we do that, we go down. Let's put it back to the table for you. And we're just going to bid 4 spades. We can remember that North has been showing all these clubs. So how do we make it? Well, if we can't get to dummy by ruffing clubs, maybe we can get there by ruffing diamonds. Exactly, Terry. So here's the lead again, the ace of clubs. Continues with the queen. But we don't ruff it, we throw a diamond. And it doesn't matter really what South does, he won't ruff it, it's a winning trick. Right. North probably continues with another diamond, nothing else is better. Another club rather. We throw another diamond. Now it's easy. Whatever North does next, we can draw the trumps, cash the ace of hearts. Well, we can cash the ace of diamonds, cash the ace of hearts, let's play it through. Let's say he plays a trump. No, the club's not going to be any good. Right, so now we're going to cash the ace of diamonds, cash the ace of hearts. Now across the dummy with a diamond ruff. And throw our diamond loser away on the king of hearts. And it becomes simple. Okay, let's claim our 10 tricks. There we go. So once we recognise that ruffing the club is not going to help us, it's going to leave us with 2 diamond losers in hand. Well, now you think, if I can't ruff clubs in dummy, I might be able to ruff diamonds in dummy. I only need to ruff 1, I just need to get there to get access to these hearts after I cash the ace. If we play 2 rounds of spades, yeah, you can play 2 rounds of spades, that's right. If the defence did switch to trumps. but you only need to get there with one diamond ruff, provided the heart's turned up. So you can play 2 rounds of spades. The defence is still going to be left with the spade, so you need the ace of hearts to stand up for at least 2 rounds. When are we saying the defence is going to switch to trumps? Let's put it back up to the table. Here we go. So this is 4 spades again. Right, so the ace of clubs. Are we saying if the defence switched to trumps at this point? Okay, let's see what happens. What's the declarer going to do? He can play the clubs himself and throw diamonds. And North can't play another trump. But, he can't play a diamond, that would be into, if he necessarily plays a heart then. That won't give the declarer anything. Right, and now declarer plays another club and throws another diamond. And we're back where we were before now. So the defence switching to trumps won't help them. Still making. Let's claim it. Well, South, why should South be roughing his partner's trick? He can rough it, but it won't help him. His partner can't rough anything. Okay, do we have any other questions on board 8 or comments? Caroline liked the hands, and so did Terry. I hope you all liked the hands. They were quite challenging. I don't know what hands you're going to get next week because Alan's going to be producing some of his own hands. I think I have seen them. I think somebody was trying them when I was watching. So, and I understand from Sanya that there probably will not be a dare on May the 8th. That's the bank holiday Monday. So I've actually been invited to play in a different event on that day as well, and it would normally be me. Okay. So, but Sandy will let us know about that later, I'm sure. But May the 8th, probably not a dare. There will be one next week, but not on May the 8th, we don't think. Sandy's away, and I think I will be away, but Alan will have hands for next Monday, I know. Okay. So, if you've got no more questions or comments or whatever, I hope you like the hands. I think they're interesting. I'm not sure where they come from. I'm going to see if I can find out this book by Lewis Watson. It's a new one on me, I think, and see where I can find it. Bridge sites on Hondo Bridge. Okay. For $18, I'm not going to order it from the US. It will take for a month of Sundays to get here. Next Monday is also a bank holiday. Yeah, well, I think Sanya's there. The difference is Sanya is there next Monday, Alan. And welcome to Alan. Sorry, I didn't realise he was with us now. The following Monday is the coronation holiday. Is that what it is? I knew it was a bank holiday. I'm trying to find a partner to play in an event that I've been invited to. I'm struggling to find one. Okay. Anyway, welcome to Alan. Alan will be providing the hands for you for next Monday, if there is one next Monday. I think there will be. Sandy will be here next Monday. It's a holiday in Europe. Okay, up to you, Alan. Okay, we'll let you all know. Nice to have your company tonight. It's been great talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the hands. They seem to have gone down pretty well. And congratulations again to Pat. I think she made a really difficult hand. And she made it look easy, which mark an expert. Well done, Pat. Okay, I'm going to wish you all a very good night. It's near 10 to 10, even the UK. And wherever you are, love you lots. See you again soon. Take care. I'm going to shut down the BBO voice, and I will shut down Zoom. I'll leave the table up for a minute or so in case you want to copy some of the hands, and then I'll close that down too. A very good night to you all. Good night.